Hi, guys. Welcome back. Not sure why we got booted, but we were going to try to figure it out. Hey, Matt. How you doing, man? Yeah, we got booted, Jared. Well, nothing. There's, if you're not sleeping, Deborah, you might as well just be here. Just waiting on Eric to pop back in, and then we will get going again. If we do get booted again, we will likely just finish the show and not come back on. So you will be able to
listen to the audio version.
Listen to the audio version, or I can, you'll listen to the audio version. Okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about
Solo cups.
Don't say it again.
Oh, no. Here we go.
That's what got us into trouble in the first place, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Now, what a very descriptive task he gets here with the drive this truck down to Baltimore. You make this pickup, and there's going to be this one guy there, and then this other guy with really big ears is going to give you a car to drive back to Baltimore. And did you pick up on what happened in that scene? Did everybody realize that he was staring at the guy's ears because the guy was supposed to have really big ears, but the dude had surgery. And so he was going, why are you looking at my ears? There's no reason to look at my ears anymore. Yeah. I had surgery on them so people would stop looking at my fucking ears.
And here we are.
Right? Now, I mean, at this point, right? These guys are arming Cuban soldiers. I mean, pretty fucking crazy, allegations here. I mean, not that I'm saying that it's not true. It just seems fucking nuts to me.
It's a weird. I liked this film. I didn't know going in that it was either based on a true story. I mean, I know Jimmy Hoffa's a real person, but the historical aspect of it, from the Kennedy stuff and the Teamsters and this Cuban Missile Crisis thing that kind of starts happening. I love that part of it. It was kind of a documentary, but also worked up and really entertaining. So I enjoyed that part of it a lot.
Yeah, that's just like anything else, right? Where like something seems autobiographical and you sit there and you wonder if it's true. Like I like that. I mean, I like that in music. Like I like when somebody does a song and it's a song that speaks to me, and then I find out that it's real, and I try not to ever find out if it's not, you know what I mean? So like, but with movies, you kind of can't take everything as facts because it's obviously to entertain, but certainly seems like the story was pretty well thought out. And that it's possible that all this is pretty gosh darn legit.
When I found out that Shaggy, it really was him that was caught red-handed banging on the bathroom floor, I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
Because the whole time he was saying
it wasn't him. Yeah.
So
He just came out and said that it was him.
He
recently.
did. Yeah. So he did.
Oh. Well, picture this.
No, fuck.
So, now Hoffa's really pissed. Kennedy's fucked up Cuba. Now he's coming after me in the Union. Joe Kennedy was the connection, right? And he has a stroke. So Hoffa's deal is like, yeah, his kids are trying to kill him. Like, you know what stroke means? Stroke means you're about to die. And then he starts calling Bobby Kennedy Booby Kennedy.
Oh, I like that part.
It's like Booby Kennedy is not going to get what he wants.
I like a real good, just like playground bully insult like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate those sometimes.
Yeah. Like, you're dumb. Oh no. Better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just
okay.
not like that.
Okay. Not that kind of playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'll move on. Fitz. Now we get introduced to Fitz here as Hoffa's number 2. And, but he's talked about quite a bit in the movie after this. And again, I think that's one of the benefits of having the subtitles on, is because, otherwise you'd kind of miss and this is not one of those where you want to watch the movie 3 times to try to figure out what the fuck happened, because nobody can commit to that.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
You have to quit your job.
he talks about Fitz playing lots of golf, yet this movie is longer than 18 fucking holes of golf.
Yeah, you can get through golf in 3.5, 4 hours for sure.
For sure, absolutely, dude. When you do that, for sure, is that Ed Helms? Because you sound exactly like him.
I agree.
I didn't think that it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's like spot on. Sounds exactly like Ed Helms' character on The Office.
Okay.
Maybe I see a new career coming on.
Maybe you could. Did I
Ed
tell you?
Helms impersonator?
Just for that one small phrase.
That's it.
And is gonna find my best friend Doug. You got to work up that song, because then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Anytime that dude picks up a guitar or sits at a piano, that's all I can hear. I just can't hear the Hangover song. Now, so they start talking about they're gonna have to take a meeting right now, and if they do take this meeting, they're gonna fucking have to meet with the little guy, which is Tony Pro, and they're not friends, right? I mean, he fucking hates this guy. Used to be friends. They used to work together. Used to come up, and they came up together. But man, he does not like this motherfucker at all.
Are we? Is this the meeting in the hotel where he's late and he's no, because he hadn't gone. Okay,
No,
I'm getting ahead of myself because that's my favorite scene in the whole movie. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Riddy-doo-doo.
Yep. That's
Here-
another one.
Yeah, that's really good. Here they're just talking about him, and we see him just at his barbecue or whatever with all of his people, and then but he's basically telling Frank that he wants him to run for president of 326. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna win if you run. And then I have here again that the fascination with Peggy is getting quite creepy.
Fucking weird.
Ugh, I don't like it.
But then, how about the thing in court where Hoffa's sitting there and the guy runs up to him and it's not even a real gun. And then his kid beats the shit out of this guy. And Hoffa's just like, did you see what I did? Did you see what my kid did? You run towards a guy with a gun. You run away from a guy with a knife.
I forgot about that scene.
Convinced it was a fake gun or it just misfired?
Yeah.
He basically said, that's just it. I don't know. I mean, it either or it wasn't loaded or what. I don't know what.
He said he felt something like a pellet gun type of thing.
You're right.
That's
like
right.
It was a BB gun.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was.
I just feel like if he had charged that gun and it was a bullet, he would have died. It wouldn't matter if he had charged it.
To me, it seemed like he almost made that happen just to have some
That's
sort
what I
of
thought,
courtroom
too.
drama, and just to show, just to shake things up, because obviously he was trying to shake shit up the whole time because he was obviously going to jail. That was going to happen. So they start finding the jurors and they start bribing. They try to bribe the state trooper. And how about the wire that the big dude in the room is wearing that looks like basically a fucking boombox? He's got
It was a pellet gun. Acquitted the man who fired a pellet gun at James R. Hoffa, the Teamster Union president, during his trial. The guy had been charged with criminal contempt of court. So he just walked in and fucking just shot him with a pellet gun.
Wow.
That is so fucking crazy. And so there were two things on my mind with that. It was one, did Hoffa do it to shake things up in the courtroom? Or another thing that I thought of is one of these things where somebody was telling him, we can get to you anywhere. I mean, you can be sitting in front of a judge.
Oh, like a scare tactic.
Yeah, and we can get to you kind of thing.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Or is
but
it just like some weirdo with a pellet gun just walking by like, oh, what's going on in there?
yeah,
Let's see if I can do it.
I guess it could be, but he didn't have to go all the way in. You can just shoot somebody with a pellet gun from far away.
Maybe he just walked in. He's like, that asshole looks like
I've
he.
heard you're supposed to go all the way in.
There was
before you
not.
shoot, but-
There was definitely no air conditioning in those days, so it was not like it was going to curve or anything like that. Kennedy is shot while he's having his ice cream, and it's it seems odd, I think, to everybody that he goes back and just sits there and finishes his sundae.
Well, the ice cream is going to melt and the guy's dead.
Yeah, that's a yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
a
That guy
time sensitive
really liked
thing.
ice cream
Yeah, I liked the whole that they always had him eat
Just
an ice cream
all
sundae.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently that was his thing. Now he gets asked, hey, what would you if you were asked to speak at Bobby's funeral or at Kennedy's funeral? What would you say? And he goes, I'd say Bobby's just another lawyer now.
God.
God damn, it was like, whoa, that was pretty crazy. And then how about too, where he notices that the flag at the Teamsters is half mast, and he fucking runs all the way to the roof to make them raise that fucker all the way up.
That was so uncomfortable.
That was weird, right?
Yeah.
I no, like that's I don't know.
Yeah, it made me feel gross, but he starts to make me feel more and more gross the more you realize how like narcissistic and like psychotic the guy is. Like he's singularly focused on one thing and can't recognize what's happening around him, or just refuses to because he thinks nothing could ever happen to him.
He definitely thinks that.
Like, dude, if you think they got the president elected and then you think that they got him killed, you don't think they could do that to you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the craziest, crazy thing. But this is kind of when it started for me. You guys said, was like gross, fucking gross.
What did you think about just the acting in this? I mean, obviously, you know what I'm going to say. I was fucking just floored by everybody in this. I thought De Niro was just amazing. Pesci was amazing. I thought that Al Pacino was fucking unreal, but it's just interesting to see him doing an impression of somebody. You don't really see that.
The first time he shows up on screen in character like that was kind of odd because it's his eyes, but nothing else looked like him because they made this head very square or something. Or the haircut made him look like that. It was just very odd. But I mean, I agree with you. The acting was great. I liked the guy that played Tony Pro. I forget his name.
Yeah,
he was great, and yeah, I thought they were all fucking fantastic. But what would you expect?
Yeah, exactly. How do you put all these dudes in there and be like, I don't know, the acting was
just
off.
see what you can do.
Yeah, it's we kept talking about it, and we were talking about it at one point where it's the two officers sitting across from De Niro, and it's like, no matter really where you are in your career, that's got to be so fucking intimidating. I mean, sitting across from him, and apparently he's amazing at making you feel comfortable.
Nope.
But
he always made me feel really comfortable.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Like too comfortable.
Like Peggy comfortable, or
like really comfortable.
Really Peggy comfortable.
Why don't you come sit on my lap and let's talk about it?
Right. Now, so Hoffa's in jail, and it's fucking he's pissed at Fitz, and it just kind of a big fucking mess, right? And the mob is pissed because this kid Dorfman is holding up the loans at Fitz's request, right? So we got to get him to stop doing that. Let's just shoot up his fucking car, and that'll take care of that, right? There you go.
Good thing bullets go exactly where you want them to go all the time, and there's no risk of him getting hit.
Now, you loved the conversation in the hotel, but I thought that the conversation in the jail was pretty amazing too. Tony Pro gets 7 years. He ends up right there with Jimmy, and he walks up to him. He's eating his fucking ice cream as always in the thing or whatever. And just, he's basically saying, I'm not getting my pension because I got caught. He got caught extorting. Right. So, and then, but Hoffa's like, yeah, well, I've still got mine. I didn't threaten anybody. He's like, well, that doesn't make any sense or whatever. And the conversation's not going all that well. And it gets worse when he says, you people.
Well, I can understand why, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
Yeah, nobody's ever liked that like at any point in history.
Yeah.
Right. At no point.
Never really a good time to use you people.
And it's never, I mean, it could be a group of supermodels and you're talking to them. It's like, well, you people always like, there's no positive outcome.
That's always
ever.
aggressive.
Well, it's like, what if you're at like a convention for those people that like to dress up as like,
those people,
like furry, like costume people,
fuzzies?
You could call those, are they furries?
Furries.
Yeah, like you could say like you people, they'd probably be okay with that. Like you people that
Bronies?
dress up in mascot
Yeah.
outfits
Yeah.
and like to do sex
I mean,
stuff.
let's be honest. You can I can't see them being offended by much.
Sure.
You think the pronoun would be wrong because they're animals? Because they're not like people?
Yeah, you probably would just want to be safe.
I see that.
Maybe
yeah.
you want to. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to say you furries.
You
Yeah.
You
organisms.
You fucking. You think they like to be called creeps? I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
Pervy, perverson,
Pervy McFur.
pervert. You,
Pervy.
yeah, you fucking pervert,
Pervert.
weirdo, dressed up pervert.
Pervert?
A pervert with fur.
We're halfway through, guys, and I am out of water. Eric, do you need a break?
Sure, let's take 5.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Like I said, we got 4 more clips left, and we are super stoked that you guys are here. I'll see you guys back here in about 5 minutos. Hang out, y'all. Yeah. Oh, are you playing some guitar?
I was.
Wait, I got Amy not on there.
No.
Look at Sean's.
It's my favorite.
Just right there in the middle.
Rest in peace, Wood.
Did you want to do Wonderwall real quick?
No,
You sure?
I'm out of practice on that one. We
Right.
will do that on our stage it. That'll be the big grand finale encore.
Sounds good. What's wrong? What? Oh, your computer died.
Do you want my turn?
Oh,
Okay.
man,
Casey shall be back.
man.
How's everything else going, Eric? You good?
I'm good. I watched some of you your Chris Burney hangout,
Ah, yeah.
and that was interesting.
Yeah?
You are right, though. I have never seen anybody who can cock block Rob out of a conversation the way Chris can. He just
Yeah.
won't stop. It's like, you're not going to say it. Whatever it is you're trying to say, you're not going to do it.
Once he gets going, that's it. You just can't.
And you see Rob over there, like holding his finger up, like, I just want to,
Yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah, I had to like text my guests afterwards and just be like, hey, he's on a roll. It's his birthday, you know? But everybody had a fun time. We probably could have got another hour.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I watched when Gary showed up and then Mike Herrera was on. So it was cool.
Yeah, it was that was cool. And Mike actually wasn't he had said he could only stay for like 5 minutes. Casey was like, was he okay? I'm like, yeah, he just had shit going on.
Yeah, seemed a little irritated, but
Um
and I thought it was cool when I watched your conversation with Frank Turner. He was talking about a lot of the same shit that I have been looking into recently, which is trying to practice more of my bluegrass G runs and stuff. And he was talking about that a couple weeks back, talking about Doc Watson and flats and scruggs and all that. And it's stuff that I'm, when I pick up my guitar, that's the kind of stuff I'm playing. So it was kind of neat to hear him talk, a British guy talk about Doc Watson and Tony Rice and those guys. It was neat.
Yeah, it's funny. He has a couple of songs on his early records that talks about that whole thing, about how he probably sounds like he comes from, Tennessee or whatever back then, because he was, when he came out of the hardcore band, he was pretty, Nashville-y, but with a little bit of a punk rock attitude to it. But yeah, it's apparently he's quite the shredder. Did you hear when he was talking to me about he had played guitar on his own stuff and they needed a guitar player for the Jewel record, so he played on Jewel's songs?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff.
Man, I know some Jewel songs.
Is back.
Oh, her computer works.
She is okay, guys.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Dreams last for so long.
Yeah. Even after you're gone.
What do you mean?
All right, you ready to talk about this insanely long movie once again?
We're for sure gonna get kicked off. Should we just? Is there a way to I don't know.
Why do you think we're going to get kicked off?
Because we're playing a clip.
We're gonna play a clip, and it was very descriptive. The notice we got, your video has 4 minutes and 10 seconds of our content.
You
So
know what
it's
it is?
gonna
I bet it's because it's Netflix.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, I mean, I can.
It's up to you. I mean, I know that it's more for the audio anyway. This is just a peek into our lives, but I was just wondering if there's a way to
not do the clip and Sean can put them in later?
We could, but I don't know if anybody else. I mean, sometimes watching the clip
Yeah, I feel like
refreshes the memory. So,
well, this actually, I can pretty much just tell you which clip it is, and it's the one we just talked about. Actually, I did my notes before Sean got the clips up, so it's a little wonky. So I just actually talked about this conversation. It's the conversation we just started with. Was it's the you people thing. So that's where we're at. So we'll just take it from there, and then Sean can just pop that in to the audio version.
Man, Sean, can you do that?
He can do anything. But I will say again to everybody, there's only a handful of peeps on, so bear with us. But if we do get kicked off again, we're just going to finish the show. All right, so here's where we're at. Let me see. I gotta fucking figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, if you people on the stream right now.
Oh no, you can't say that.
Wow, did I say that?
Did you say that?
I should have said like you guys, but if I said you people,
If you said you people, then
I fucking meant it.
you're a racist.
Yeah.
not with our fan base.
No, I'm not.
No, that's not what I said.
Now, so Joey the Blonde is so it turns out they call him Crazy Joe. It's that comedian Sebastian. What's his face?
Bach.
Oh no, it starts with an M.
Yeah, the
The
I'm in
crab.
line at the grocery store.
Sebastian. Oh, I can't.
You know who I'm talking about?
Maniscalco.
Maniscalco.
Yeah, it's just like
Scalco.
okay.
Okay.
I'm in line at you ever be in line at the grocery store and the guy's gonna write a check?
What?
I thought it started strong, and then at the end, it was like,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Joey I don't even remember this character. Joey
Okay.
the Blonde.
Yeah, and Crazy Joe. He's the one.
he's not blonde.
He's not blonde. He's the one that they're at the show thing or whatever, and he walks up to their booth and he says, he goes, he's like, hey man, don't say anything to him. It's Joey's birthday and he fucks with Russell about his pin. Then he's just like, hey, we're brothers. Yeah. And he's like, well, he's a boss. He's just, yeah, I'm a boss, so.
Yes, I remember that now. That character now.
So he, it's funny, that was a whole thing back and forth, but then, so basically the guy's got to get killed, right? He started some shit. He couldn't finish. And so this hit is like on his birthday dinner. And it's like, yeah, his daughter's there. She needs to see this. You know what? The bodyguard, shoot him first, not in the face or the chest. We don't have any beef with him.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah. just bang, bang, bang. And that was, just all of those hits that De Niro did. It seems so quick, like just nothing to it.
And ballsy and
Yeah.
in the middle of a restaurant. And you're trying to tell me that you do this a lot. And
Right.
just nothing ever? You die of old age in a.
Jared made a pretty good point though at one point. I think it was whenever he was like stomping that guy's hand earlier. Maybe I hope he didn't already say this. Maybe he did, but like that, he's still like, De Niro's kind of fucking old. So even like watching it, he still kind of moves like an old guy. Like when he's supposed to be younger, you're like, oh, kind of a weird little thing you did with your hip there. Like like I don't know.
It was super noticeable when you're exactly right. When he was beating the shit out of the grocery store guy.
Was it
Just like he starts
acting up?
he starts to stomp on the mat, and when he's kicking him, you're like, oh shit, Robert De Niro's gonna fall down.
Yeah, careful,
A little wobbly.
And
Yeah,
then
he's gonna lose one of his Velcro shoes. It's gonna fall off.
You know what? I actually thought the exact same thing when he collapsed in the hallway. I know that's later.
Yeah,
But I was very concerned. I was like, oh gosh, this isn't a double.
right. I know he
Careful.
really did.
Careful on your way down.
I don't know. I feel like playing those parts, like as you get older, have to be a little bit like, well, this feels kind of funny.
Yeah. Again,
That
it's
could be
it's
around
like,
the corner.
yeah, 100%. Well, Peggy's all grown up now,
Mm.
and yeah. Now I didn't realize that was Academy Award winner from The Piano. I had no idea who that actress was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the X-Men. Duh.
X-Men. Who is she in the X-Men?
She's like the main one.
God,
She's
Oh.
Doctor Xavier.
It's from something else too. Hang on.
Well, I don't know
True Blood.
I don't know any of that stuff. I'm out of tune with the Toms.
She was on Game of Thrones.
She's
What?
She's All That. Remember that?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
what was she on?
She's the sister.
She's the one who she drew all the makeup on, I think, in the bathroom.
What was she on Game of Thrones?
She was D'Artagnan
Game of
Good.
Thrones.
Gabooter.
I don't see that.
Booter.
Dark.
I barely know her.
So she wasn't on Game of Thrones?
Oh, how would I know? I've never seen that bullshit.
God damn it, you're so funny.
I think you'd like it.
Jimmy is out after 4 years, and he gets a presidential pardon from Nixon. Pretty funny though when he talks about that. He's like, got a presidential pardon from Nixon, but then they showed Nixon, and he's out there playing golf with Tony Pro, and that's sort of what brings this meeting that you're talking about to light, because he wants to take back his union, but he's going to have to get Tony Pro's support because he needs those votes. And, how are you going to figure that out? You got to make up,
And you just think that if that were the situation you were in, then you could just, for 1 hour, put your hat in your hands and just play that role. And
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, and I need your help, but God damn it, if just
everything is just so much about respect. And, and that, it's funny. It's not that people from like New Jersey and Philadelphia aren't unlike that now. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of still like that.
right.
I break your fucking teeth in. You fucking talk to me like that. It's just like, oh shit. All I said was you're out of ice.
Yeah, or just making eye contact.
Yeah, like,
What are you looking at?
I asked
I'm gonna
Rob
start saying that to people.
what,
Just like, what the fuck are you looking at? To
Oh,
just people.
but
Just
you're
all
not
the
gonna.
time.
You're just gonna say it in your regular voice.
Yeah,
Like,
because I can't do impressions very well.
oh, okay.
I
Well.
say, why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Oh, good one.
Oh.
Now, so but his wife is like, hey man, just go do this, and then after you're president again, you can just fire whoever the fuck you want, So Frank's like, of course I'll go with you. Now, this is the one where he shows up and he's just late, and he's like, and this is how you dress? Like you're wearing shorts? He's like, it's fucking summer outside, but you're at a meeting. I don't disagree with this. I really don't.
Which side?
I don't disagree with the dress thing. Like, I think if you're going to talk about like a presidential run and blah, 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 I could see, and that this dude, he knows that he's fucking with the guy by dressing down like this. He 100% knows that.
Yeah, because
I
even the guy
agree.
with him is wearing a suit.
Exactly. Yeah. Great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dude who even walks in with him is wearing a suit. Like, you just be respectful. I mean, at least put on a pair of pants. It's like, this is a big conversation or whatever, but he goes, you can't be more than 10 minutes late. The dude is like, well, I say 15 because you got to factor in traffic. Well, 10 minutes is factoring in traffic.
Exactly.
But essentially all he wants is an apology, and it's like,
Guess what he does not get?
yeah, well, he's like, he goes, I'll apologize after you apologize for being late, you fucking wop cocksucker. And it's just like, oh boy, this is not good. But they get him to sit back down until then the dude basically says what's gonna kill him. He says, I'll fucking kidnap your grandchild and send it back to you in pieces or whatever. And like that, you just don't say shit like that to people.
That was it.
That's it.
You just shouldn't say that to people at all, I don't think.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like that's just like a general.
Never acceptable.
I don't think it matters like what your status is. You don't chop up people's grandchildren. It's
Right.
just kind of a common courtesy.
Yeah, I for one would go on record.
For a meeting, you don't chop up their grandchild.
Yeah. 2 easy rules.
Usually.
Yeah. Thank you for being the only one on this podcast with the courage to stand up for not chopping up grandchildren.
Right. Yeah. And I do apologize for all of the grandchildren.
I know we all have different beliefs on here, but
In the
I
dog.
personally,
You certainly try to be respectful, but I think, everyone has kind of a line in the sand that they have to draw, and that you are so willing and brave to put that out there, I think is admirable.
thanks, Eric.
Agreed. Yeah. And by the way, we have sold our wood chipper, and
To me.
we no longer own it. That is down the street at the Pittsinger house. So if you do need some grandchildren chopped up, that's
Who was it that they put in the wood chipper in this thing?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because even after I'm dead, I don't want that to happen to me.
Oh,
Fucking Joey Cannoli.
it's
I
the
don't know.
guy.
Tony.
No. It's the dude that that Sal chokes while he comes at him and he puts the piano wire around his neck while they're driving or whatever. It's that dude. And the other guy just keeps driving, just nonchalant as fuck. Just like, yeah, I mean, this is happening. But yeah, that dude, they just sprayed him into the fucking in the forest. Oh, shit. But at this point, just fucking shit is blowing up. They're blowing up each other's cars. Hoffa's wife gets fired. I mean, this is, that some shit's about to go down.
We like put gnome in each other's yard sometimes when
Yeah.
we're bored and we
Yeah.
want to
Gotcha.
fuck with
Yeah.
our friends.
I like that she was super hesitant to start her car.
Uh-huh.
That was a good one.
That
too.
one did make me nervous.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's the way my entire life would be if this were
Yes.
what was happening around me.
That's the whole point. Why would you do it?
I can't go to Target right now without feeling overwhelmed and anxious and like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna leave here. I'm just gonna die on the way home. I got the COVID.
That's
But-
why it's good to be the first wife with the kids, right?
Oh yeah.
She's just chilling.
You got the COVID. Yeah, I got the COVID. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like all of these dudes live their life like they're untouchable, especially the maid guys, because they are, until they're not.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but they're not, because
I feel like they're not.
Yeah.
no one gets a happy ending.
Well,
Well, No, they
More often in like LA and
they closed that place down in Prosper, actually. Apparently.
did.
well, no. Phase 2, it's open now.
Oh, okay, good,
Mhm.
good, interesting. Yeah, apparently that was a thing. I didn't even know that. Not that I would have partook.
You can just go down to Royal Lane if you want to jerk off massage.
But those places
sure.
get busted all the time. Me and Casey Diorio used to talk about going and getting one of those one time.
if you
just
don't
for
care
fun.
who's giving it to you, how hard is it to just to go find a hand job?
Can't
I
be
think
that.
it's harder than you would think.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think
he
so.
said that. Yeah, I mean, you.
Can't you just go on like Tinder now and be like, I like a hand job, please? And people are like, I'd like to give hand jobs.
I think there's
Let's
the
go.
line forms to the right of dudes that want a hand job. I think the shorter line is just women who say, "Sure, I'll give you a hand job."
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
That there's plenty of people who want hand jobs, but less people who want to deliver the hand jobs.
And
I
that's
think at a macroeconomic level,
Yeah.
I hate economics.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a supply and demand thing, right?
Sure. Well, I mean, you got to think not most men. I mean, what, a good solid 50-60% of men would like it to be a female. Right. So, and then after that, each girl only has two hands. Most girls only have two hands,
I like all these clarifications. I think that's
The
very
average
Are you
woman,
saying that it's going to cost you more if a girl only has one hand?
I'm saying she could definitely charge
because her
more.
time is more valuable. She
Well,
can't do two.
can
at
you-
because that one
time.
hand's extra strong.
Yeah. Can
from
you
having to
imagine
overcompensate.
can you imagine the bicep strength of this girl? I mean,
It
and-
depends on the way she does it. I think.
sure. Well, and then let me think about this. And then
like that, like
Yeah.
Like getting ketchup out of a bottle.
Oh, right. Oh. How dry do you want it? Like desert dry.
she gets a paper towel out and wipes her
Yeah.
mouth.
We saw her on something the other
guys
day.
love it when it's like a desert in your mouth.
Ah.
Uh,
Now
Well,
what?
well, shit.
Well, there's gotta to be somebody we can call about this.
Shit's blowing up everywhere, and again, it's basically all out war. Hoffa is talking all kinds of shit, and the mob is running the union basically. And there's these. Oh no, he basically puts it out there. He starts to go on TV and starts talking about how the mob is running the union and about how getting the loans from the Teamsters or whatever. And Joe Pesci's trying to fucking save this guy at this point. Like, the one thing you can say about Russell is like he does try to keep people alive as long as possible. And he's going, oh no, he's just campaigning. He doesn't mean any of this shit, whatever. But it's still, he's calling attention to this stuff. And he used to be in charge. Nobody likes that, And so that's when he's told, hey, friends are saying you need to stop and enjoy your grandchildren. He's like, who said that? Tony, and
well, they're all named Tony.
That's right. Exactly. He goes, yeah. Why are they all named Tony? Who was it? Tony, or Tony?
But even then, he can't be serious about it. Like, this is craziness. They are, like you said, he's given you every opportunity to try to back off of this or say you're sorry or whatever needs to happen to keep you alive so you can hang out with your grandchildren.
Yeah.
But he just wants to make jokes.
He's pissed and he's like, look, I'll never retire now. I'm just not going to retire, so fuck it. And this Tony Salerno guy is going, this guy needs to fucking step down. And they didn't he didn't like that very much.
Nope.
Now it's time for our next clip. Do you want me to do the same thing and just tell you what it is? And then we'll do it in since we're not getting kicked off. It is. Your opinion. It's the.
Can we just listen to it? Will they know, or do they have? Does the robot have to see it?
That's how they get it. Is from the audio.
Oh.
So essentially, what this is the conversation between Tony Salerno and it's basically what I just described. Actually, my notes. Sean was nice enough to organize my notes for me, but they go up to the clip instead of not right after, which is how I used to do it. And then Rich didn't like that. I used to introduce the clip by like, hey, here's what's coming up. Let me tell you what's about to happen. Anyway, so yeah, this is what goes on. He goes on to this campaign thing and he starts talking all this shit. And Tony Salerno's like, fuck this, man. We're not gonna do this. And so Frank learns that he's gonna get an award. And he's like, hey, I want you to present it to me. Everybody's going to be there. And again, he just goes, oh, who? Tony, and Tony? Remember Tony?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a band.
Feels good. Yeah, I'm singing that Tony song.
Yeah, you're doing really good too.
Done it again.
Yeah. Now, a lot happens at this dinner, though. I mean, here, they're kind of all watching each other. There's a lot of back and forth. And, but you find out Hoffa's the one holding up the loans now. And there's just more of like, that's their thing. That the other big thing about this movie that's really funny is he said this and he'll go, he said that. Oh. He said that. What did he say? He said that he's going to hold up the loans or whatever. He said that. Yeah, he said that. You sure he said that? He said that.
Couldn't one person take over the entire mob just by saying, he said that?
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Yeah, he said I'm in charge now.
Yeah,
oh, they said I'm allowed to be in here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't know I wasn't in charge, Now, so here, all these side conversations starts happening. I mean, Russ basically, tells Frank, you got to go up to him. You got to tell him, like, he's not showing appreciation. So he loses his fucking mind. He's like, I did 5 years in school, which apparently is jail.
That's a new one. That's a new slang term we got from this one.
This cocksucker is 15 minutes late and wears shorts. and it's just like, nobody threatens the Hoffa. So then there's this ring presentation. Again, long night here. So much shit happened in this one night. Only 3 people have the ring. Now nobody can fuck with Frank ever, But you got to go talk to Hoffa. And this is where he says the line. He goes, if they can whack the president, they can whack the president of a union. And it's like, oh man, which really gets into so much shit, especially where we live. Cause it's just, it's right in our backyard of the Kennedy thing of, whether or not people think that it was that fuck, what's his name?
Marilyn Monroe whacked that president.
Yes, she did.
Hi-yo, ding, 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 ding. Do you think
Hand job.
both hands? And you think probably right hand more doing
Could have
the
been a
arm.
lefty. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah,
Lee Harvey Oswald. Is that what you're going to say?
Harvey Oswald. Yeah, but it's very interesting that then a guy with definite mob ties, a restaurateur from right here in Dallas, Texas, then takes him out before he can say anything. The whole thing does seem a little convenient, and they're definitely pointing at that here. I'm not really one of those conspiracy theorists in the least, but I guess this movie is definitely on the side of, hey, there was a lot more to this.
I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
You don't think
And
there's
I'm like you. I don't.
the Kennedy stuff?
What's that?
You don't think there's conspiracy behind the Kennedy stuff?
I think that there has to be. But do I think that Lee Harvey Oswald just decided to do it and did it? No. I just don't know. I'm not really big into conspiracy theory shit. I don't know.
We used to go down to the 6th floor museum, which if you haven't been to, you should. It's amazing. Right where JFK got shot in Dallas. And they used to, around the corner, had a conspiracy museum. So
Yes,
you go
they
to both
did.
in the same day. And it was awesome. Like just fucking rooms full of stuff. Like people like that were there that day have died of freak accidents, like over the next couple years.
I don't
and all
think
these
I ever
things.
went there.
Oh, it's awesome. They got rid of
To
it.
the conspiracy.
Yeah,
one.
I would have
of
shut it down
course.
too if I was trying to cover up a conspiracy.
Yeah, that sounds like a conspiracy in and of itself.
Right?
So many conspiracies.
Well, why don't you open one?
And see what happens.
Yeah.
See who contacts you.
If you're still here in a couple of years, then we'll know.
Well, catfish.
Everything's
There we go. Yeah. We were wrong.
fine. Now, Peggy is watching all of this stuff from afar. Still hasn't had one fucking line in the whole movie.
Mm.
And this is where we get the, now you got to go back to him and tell him it is what it is, which is basically saying you're done. That's it. It is what it is. And here he just starts with the threats, like you're saying, Eric. It's just like he doesn't know when to shut his fucking mouth. He's like, I've got files, I've got recordings. I know things they don't know I know, and it's like, he's like, dude, just get some protection. Get some fucking bodies around you,
What kind of mind thinks that saying things like that out loud are going to make it better? It's just the weirdest. But again, I don't know if that's narcissism necessarily, but it's some aspect of that where you just don't realize the things you say and the actions you take, how they're perceived in the world or how they're going to affect things that happen around you. And you just don't think that is ever going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Especially in that world. And so this brings us to basically where the car trip catches up with the movie. He's basically talking that, hey, so the wedding is basically this peace mission, and all along the way, they're stopping and picking up little bits of money, which is super interesting. All of these places, where he's got some sort of stake or some sort of a vig where he's just picking up envelopes full of money. But Frank calls him, one last time. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And he hangs up on him. They're at the hotel out by the pool. And I thought this was really interesting. Pesci just gets off the phone. He goes over there and he goes, he told you he's going to think about it. Maybe you ought to go try again. And right when he calls him, he just, yeah, sure, I'll meet the guy, whatever. It was like, who was Pesci talking to on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like what changed this guy's mind? And so, yeah, he decides he's going to meet with Tony Pro and, that's what's going to happen. And, and then basically Pesci's like, yeah, we're going to hang around and go up later. And he's like, yeah, but I'm supposed to be there. I got to go. And he's like, Frank, we did what we could for the man, don't call him. Right. And then everything changes overnight because they're at breakfast. And he's like, basically just goes, hey, we're going to take a ride up to Port Clinton today. Girls are going to stay here. What's there? A plane. You're going to go to Detroit. When you get back, we'll take a long drive up, and he's like, it's happening no matter what. He's basically telling him, you're going to go up there and kill this fucker,
a guy who just gave you this award. But it does make me wonder, because if the whole thing to start with, he started as a mafia guy. I'm talking about Sheeran.
Yeah.
He starts as the mafia guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of assigned this project of Hoffa and whatever, but kind of maybe getting too close to the person that this is really a job. Wasn't for you to become buddy with the dude.
Yeah.
Maybe you were supposed to pretend to gain his trust or whatever, but yeah, then it all comes back around, and now, but he knows, he goes through with it.
Yeah. Well, it's like Casey said, it probably to him was like, hey, if anybody's going to do this, it's going to be me. If anybody's going to put this dude out of his misery,
that's what he says.
Yeah,
is why he had to do it. They said that they told him that it was going to happen, and because it's like a thing out of respect. Like, so if it's going to happen, then it should be me that does it.
Yeah, and
that's like
so
shooting
weird.
your dog in the head or something, like when it's sick, right?
That's my dog, Paul.
But I mean, it's so weird. They pull up to the airplane, and Pesci's like, give me your glasses. He gets out, he gets on a plane, he flies there. There's a car waiting. It's got a map and a gun in it. He's got the address on his hand. He drives past Jimmy Hoffa, and fucking Chuck is late. We're like, what the fuck is this dude's kid doing here? And there's the wet seat with the whole fish thing.
I didn't understand that at all.
The fish conversation, right? That whole car ride, actually, with the fish conversation, and then Hoffa talking about them picking him up instead of going to the place and waiting for that whole thing is what that movie Uncut Gems felt like the entire time.
Just a fucking, like, what the fuck's an anxiety?
Yes, just nonsensical, just anxiety. Like, why is everyone even fucking still talking about it?
I figured it had to have been something along the lines because Frank didn't want to sit in the back seat.
No.
Or no, he didn't want to sit in the front seat.
Yeah.
Because did he think he was going to get strangled?
I think he was starting to wonder what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Because he had walked in there. He knew that they were gonna fucking kill the guy.
But was he second guessing that?
Maybe.
Was he wondering if it was going to backfire on himself?
Yeah, do you feel like there's some guy you don't fucking know? You don't let him sit behind you.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, that's
it's
just it.
Weird.
But it's crazy. He walks into that house and the dude's lining the floor with the plastic or whatever.
So
it's just like, oh, good Lord. And
would you think they just like throw down a tarp, but they weren't. It was literally like painting a house. He was like cutting the corner.
Yeah. Nothing, no evidence left behind. All right. So the next clip would be. Oh, well, it's this car ride. So we just talked about that. Okay. So
have we talked about the son and what he's in?
No.
So the son was in Friday Night Lights, which I used to watch all the time. But most recently, did anybody see that movie Game Night?
Great movie.
Oh, it was so good.
He was like the creepy neighbor.
Yeah.
And he was
the police officer, yeah.
Was he in Breaking Bad?
Yes. And El Camino, I think.
And he was in Fight Club.
Was
He's
he?
in Fight Club?
Really?
He's the guy who gets the fucking shit beat out of him, like face all.
No, he's not. That's
I think
Jared
he was
Leto.
too young.
That's Jared Leto, dude. You son of a bitch. Jesus Christ.
Good job.
I fucking like this new bit, by the way. I like he was this guy. It's because most of the time there's no way to, well, I guess we could look it up on the internet. There's Russ just waiting in the car when he gets back, and they head to the wedding, and all the girls are just missing or are sitting in the house watching these news and I thought to myself, I was like, why is everybody just sitting around watching the television? These are like grown girls. And then I remembered, there was nothing else to do.
Nope. That is their only source of information.
This is it. And, she says, why haven't you called Joe? And I thought that was a pretty depressing phone call.
Ugh.
When he calls his wife and she's just so like, will you please call me again and call me tomorrow? And man, he's just stuttering through that. And God, that was tough,
Do you think he called her the next morning?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think so. I mean,
oh, what do you think, Eric?
Eric, what are you so hurt for?
I'm not. I was just reading about Jesse Plemons. He's from Dallas, Texas, and he is engaged to Kirsten Dunst. and
Oh,
was in,
good for him.
and was in Fight Club.
You're gonna have very blonde children.
He did it.
Sorry, you guys were talking about something else that I don't care about because Jesse Plemons, noted actor from Fight Club, is marrying Kirsten Dunst.
Interesting. Sean just duplicated himself. Fucking weird.
Oh yeah, he froze up.
Look, there's 2 Seans. Check this out.
I only have one Sean.
Oh, okay. Well, I have 2. So we're starting to get to the point where the movie's kind of winding down. He basically says, he goes, there was nothing else to it than that. It's a trash incinerator. That's it. Then they busted everybody. We all went to jail. Russ had a stroke. He doesn't have any teeth. It's just like, it's so crazy to think. And this is one of those things that I think about all the time. It's like, there comes a point where like even the most just crazy killer guy gets to the point of age to where he's just a normal fucking old man. Like that's just happens to where it's like you're as vulnerable as the dude sitting next to you, no matter how many fucking people you've killed or what you've seen in your life.
It was almost funny to me when they're sitting there rolling the ball, playing whatever game it is.
Sure.
Like, oh, this is what it comes to.
Yeah, this is it.
Not every movie that shows kind of this type of aging and progression of time affects me, but I sat there last night as the movie was starting to wind down, and like you said, they're in prison playing bocce ball or whatever that was, and the guy can't eat the bread anymore after dipping the wine.
Doesn't have teeth.
And it did just kind of, it's a biological certainty. We all know we're going to die. It's just a matter of when. But just all the things that you enjoy that you can't do anymore because you're either not physically capable or mentally capable. And I don't know why it was this film. Maybe it was because there was so much happening for so long, such a wild life. And
then you're powerful, then you lose all your power.
I felt the same way, though. It was actually kind of depressing there at the end when he's asking his daughter, is there anything else I can do? And like, he would have never said that when he was younger.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, never. And that's something that old people do, right? They try to.
Sherritt and I decided that we were going to just move into like a retirement community, like really early.
As soon as I'm able.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going in. Fuck it.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. And then we'll just so the transition's really easy.
Yeah.
Casey, you'll be like 31 when that happens.
That'd be fucking
That's
fun.
exactly what I said.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, she could style the lady's hair. And
yeah, he's the same age as all my parents. So like, they'd all
keep
be
them
there.
all in the same spot.
It'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be good. Now, but I thought that it was interesting when he is rolling through and he said, where are you going? He goes, I'm going to church. What are you going to church for? You don't go to church. He goes, you'll see. And it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, eventually all of us are going to do this. Eventually all of us are going to, you're going to need something.
That last minute, like just panic, like, okay.
Yeah. How do I get right, in what I do? But so he goes to church, into the hospital, and then into the ground. And kind of sad, and then, he's out of prison and Rainey's died of lung cancer. And, that's where you see them at the funeral and Peggy's still not talking to him. And, the whole aging thing is, again, I even wrote this note. It's such an important part of this movie because as you say, it's kind of one of those things like when you see like really, really famous actors, like towards the end, where it's just like, my God, you literally used to have everything at your feet and now you can't feed yourself. It's like, it's a fucking kick to the ass of like why you're supposed to enjoy things while you're here and while you and make sure that you're telling people that you love them and shit like that. He goes into the bank and Peggy is not going to have that. And that's when he has that meeting with the other daughter. It's just kind of sad. He ends up going and shopping for his own coffin. He's shopping for his own crypt. He doesn't know that his lawyer's dead.
That was so sad.
He goes, yeah, you want to ask me questions? Go to my lawyer. Frank, your lawyer's dead. Oh yeah. Who did it? Cancer.
Yeah.
Like, And he's just like, everybody is dead, Frank, everybody. And it's, really, that's it. And so then the priest asks him, he just says, you feel bad for anything? You feel bad for any of this? He's like, gets water into the dam. He goes, well, what about remorse for the families? And he just goes, I didn't know their families.
Except one.
Yeah, except one.
And then he refers to the phone call, but he doesn't say who it was or what it was about.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the one thing that he does feel bad about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that probably ate him up inside forever, because I really do think that he loved Hoffa and that he, really wanted to protect him. And
do you think it does eat him up? I mean, I feel like it's probably, he's got to have a way of compartmentalize it. I mean, he referred to everything. He said it's like in the war, you just take your orders and you do what you're supposed to do.
I think so too.
I think so. I think, but I think Hoffa was the one that got through to him. He just wanted him to fucking shut up and just, and he just knew that this guy was just going to fucking kill himself. And you could see those are the only times where you like saw pain in his eyes, when
he knew he couldn't just get through to him, like just act right and everything will be fine.
Act right and everything's gonna be fine. If you just go enjoy your grandkids, like we can enjoy our grandkids together, but you just won't.
You can enjoy Peggy a little bit more.
Yeah.
She's of age now.
Maybe he should have said that instead of your
She's got
grandchildren.
both arms.
Yeah, you can see Peggy a little bit. Maybe you can see a little bit more of Peggy. I don't know.
Right? You never know. You never
see where the night goes.
If you don't mind backing up just a little bit to that scene where has the arm things and he goes to the bank to try to talk to her and she just walks away. I know I found this really interesting because I know that this is supposed to be sad, but as someone who, as we've talked about before, has a pretty complicated relationship with a parent, like I fucking get it. And I don't need that bullshit in a public place with someone I haven't spoken with in however many years it's been. The answer's no. And it's always going to be no. And it's especially going to be no right then and right there. Like, so
that's not for you. That's for them. It's just, it's a selfish thing. It's not
you had all this time.
Your job. Like you have to compose yourself. It's not just like running into somebody at the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. And that's a very good, it's very good to hear it in those words, because I'm with you also, she chose to get rid of the toxicity, of that relationship and then confronting her in public at a place like that. You're right. I mean, that's that you're just making it worse.
Yeah.
Well, in case you hit the nail on the head. Because what benefit is it to her to have that conversation? It was
all he did was make her life more difficult in that moment. I think that it is a sad thing that we are wired to believe that we have to do certain things because somebody is related to us, and that you're not allowed to just like cut out toxic relationships. You don't have to let somebody treat you like shit. She was afraid of the man. He scared her. Like
he's a monster.
She doesn't have to be around him. He was a mass murderer. So I think maybe in like an earlier time in my life, maybe I would have been like, come on, it's your dad. He's dying. He's fucking Robert De Niro. I mean, come on. Like, but I think as I get older, I'm like, that doesn't benefit her at all, that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, and she knows that he killed someone that she cared about.
And trusted.
And trusted. Yeah.
And that cared about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that relationship would say the same. They were dancing, just at that party. And, De Niro had stopped trying. I mean, oh no, she's just like that. She's just shy. She just doesn't.
I also wish that Peggy would have come around to Russ just a little bit, Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it never really seemed to happen unless I missed it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, they ended up having sex.
Was that like during the credits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on the blooper reel.
Yeah, the gag reel at the end.
It's like a Marvel. It's like a Marvel
gag reel.
Roadhouse.
Not just bloopers, but you went full on gag reel.
Our last clip will be the
Jesus Christ.
What?
I'm just laughing at gag reel. That's funny.
That's good. It's just this last conversation, man, where he's talking to the priest, and there's a lot to that conversation as well. But I think the big one is he, as he's leaving, he's like, hey, don't shut that door all the way. I don't like that. It's like, I don't want to be locked in a cage, and again, it's here. The guy dies alone. He sits there and maybe his other daughters are visiting him, who knows? But a wonderful, wonderful fucking movie. I know that we've talked a lot about how long it was, and we've made quite a few jokes about it, but I am really glad that we did this. I'm glad that that we endured it and went and watched it. Eric, how about you, man?
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and I knew we would make plenty of comments about the length of the movie, but I'm not real sure what you could have cut out unless you just made it a movie and a sequel. But even then, I didn't see a kind of very clear delineation point between two distinct stories. So it was really long. I think Netflix was probably the right medium to release it.
Yeah.
And so, and obviously it was well received, and people are willing to, quote unquote, fight through a movie that long. I think it is a testament to, Scorsese and the directing and kind of taking the book and adapting it to film, and the characters or the actors and their performances, just all around great. I don't see why it should be any shorter than it is.
I agree. Casey, at the end of the day, what do you think?
It was great. I mean, like I said, it's a long movie, but it couldn't have been bad. There's no way it could have been bad with everybody that's in this movie.
Very true. Amy?
I like the acting in it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it, but I thought it was boring.
Oh, no.
I mean, the end was okay. It was sad.
Yeah.
But I think the end was the best part.
Yeah. There's been a couple of these mob movies that
maybe it was the only thing that I could follow. I think that's also the thing. It took me a long time to figure out who everybody was, what their position was, what their relationship. It was just a lot.
It took some focus, that's for sure. And if there was anything else going on in your house, I could see how.
And 3.5 hours is a long time for me to really sit down and focus on watching something that detailed. So, I mean, it was good overall. Yeah. Like Casey said, how can it be bad with those people in it? But
Sean, did you like it?
No.
You have to, Sean, we're an audio podcast, bud. I love you so much.
Loved it.
What a glowing recommendation from our own.
Unbelievable. You heard it here first, guys.
From our own Sean 316, guys. So if that doesn't encourage you to check it out, I don't know what will.
That's going on your tombstone.
Check the email box. Email us at jaredgoestothemovies@gmail.com.
Rob Popelstizzy writes, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, as we all know, are married and believe it's been since 1933. Anyway, like most things in life, all good things must come to an end. And a few months ago, they announced they are getting divorced. Aw. Sad times. Things got nasty between the two of them, and they both ended up in court in front of a judge. In the courtroom, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse both said their thing, and the judge, being all wise and powerful, declined their file for divorce. Mickey was absolutely stunned and asked the judge, why? The judge replied, it isn't fair or ethical that you divorce someone because of their teeth being crooked. Mickey responded very quickly, no, judge, you misunderstood. I didn't say her teeth are crooked. I said she's fucking goofy.
Oh.
Roadhouse.
I like it.
So look, that's fine, and that joke is funny, but I will go on record right now. Let us not turn the mailbag at the end of each show into you trying to get your fucking jokes on podcast. Because I will not do it, or I will intentionally mess it up if it appears there. So Rob, thank you, but everybody else don't.
Yeah. Okay, Rob.
If you want to do that, leave a fucking voicemail. Then I don't have to read your dumb joke.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. 714-451-6029. You can leave a voicemail, 6029. You can also find us at jarrettgoesthemovies.com. Jarrett Goes to the Movies on Facebook. And we do have an awesome fan page, Jarrett Goes to the Movies fan page on Facebook. You can Instagram us, Jarrett Movies, or find us on Instagram. And of course, you can email us at jarrettgoesthemovies@gmail.com. Also, please consider supporting the show on Patreon if you're liking it. We would love to have you as a supporter and as a follower and a friend. Thank you for sharing the podcast last week. We appreciate it. Viniac Drums, Lawn Mower.
Man, loved that one.
Because that one I didn't even look at it. Most of the time, if they look funny, I'll kind of limp in. But Lawn Mower, that's funny. Simon Rogers, Chris Pulse, Joey Bishop, Barry Ferguson, Woody Chambers, Tess Green, Steve McCracken, Amanda Lynn, Laura Gorton. Oh, what is that? Laura Gorton?
No, Amanda Lynn.
Oh,
it's not a real person, right, Sean?
God damn it. Is it Amanda Lynn?
No.
Oh, you got me on that one again. Laura Gorton, Amy Pittsinger, Colton Swartz, Justin Chase. Oh, is that supposed to be just in case? I'm just kidding. Mark Ryan, Rob Popplestone, Robert Newsom, Josh Christian, Harry Dunn, Carrie Lynn Abner, Jared Spear, Nick Brignoni, Greg Lee, Vinny Cataldo, Jonathan Oakley, Stuart May, Ann Chovy, Katie Braley, Mitch Bergeron, Evolution Radio, GR, Fiona Freeman. Some good ones today, guys. Steve Vaughn, Gladys Tuesday.
That was my favorite.
Michelle Price, Daniel Noe, Daniel No way, Daniel No, hey, Justin McGill, Kristen Noel Osborne, Celeste Mary Meadows. Man, that took me a while. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. We will see you back when Friday. For The Godfather. I'm gonna be honest, I know not when we are gonna be able to watch this. We're gonna probably have to do this tomorrow night, babe. Hey guys, we'll see you down the road.